Some of us get up at 4:30 in the morning, drive 2 hours to teach 7 kids in the middle school whose only band time is 1 hour before school. This is going to be the first of 5 different school bands we direct today. And Ricardo, the trombonist and our only bass instrument, is not here again because playing trombone is the only thing he likes to do, and his parents punish him for teasing his sister by taking him out of band. And some of us will be bringing 3 broken clarinets home after parent-teacher conferences to stay up half the night fixing keys and pads because there are no luthiers within 50 miles. And even if there was, there's no budget for it. And still others have the best band in the state. A French horn section that is the pride of Kentucky. But Mrs. Lutz is insistent on making her kid the first horn, no matter what the auditions say. Emails to you, your principal, the school board, other band parents, basically everybody but the governor. And Mrs. Lutz also happens to be the head of your booster group and your biggest contributor. Others of us will be stuck in band room 1 hour and counting after the last rehearsal with 2 meat-headed members of the lower brass section, Matt and Trayvon, because they started fighting in rehearsal over a clarinetist that doesn't like either one of them. Last month, they were arguing over who got the silver euphonium. What about, you have just arrived at the biggest football game of the year, and all of your sticks and mallets are missing. All of the drums have been detuned, and the tuning keys are with the sticks. Out of the corner of your eye, you glimpse little round-headed Charlie in the trumpet section being congratulated for pulling off a good one. The pep band for your basketball games is comprised of an ad hoc committee of students. They provide general excitement and play simple cheers for students. At the last game of the season, they are called upon to play the national anthem, and it falls apart right in the middle of it because no one except David, a lone clarinetist, can play it without the music. The students of the other team begin jeering and teasing the band, unbeknownst to you, as you enjoy a rare on-time dinner at home with your family. A spirited but less than serious segment of your band makes your whole ensemble the laughing stock of the school. Amy, it's a beautiful kid who's one of your hardest workers, has just messed up an important trumpet solo in a big competition. She is crying and inconsolable, believing she is the reason that you will not make the marks the band deserves. She is letting everyone down. While Bud Sneck, your principal, is a former varsity wrestling coach who hates the band. He is always giving your program less and less money, the worst teaching schedule, and a band room with defective air conditioning and heating. He refers to band members as nerds and wimps at best. Your school culture is also that way. Cool kids don't want to be a band dog. And the kids in your band are disrespectful to the poor home training and want you to play music that means something to kids today. They submit a list of songs that feature people talking and cursing. Even though they have convinced you, you honestly cannot find enough music in the selections to arrange for a full band. They accuse you of being a hater. And still others have called the last of the parents and business people in the area. You have just 2 more days to go and you need $400 more to take the band on a trip to Chicago. You don't have anything else to advertise the name on. Maybe someone else will come through. You've already cut half of your family vacation. One of your most soulful saxophonists, Melissa, is in an abusive family situation. She has asked if she can sleep in the band room for the 3rd time this month. You've repeatedly sent her to the school counselor to no avail. One meeting with her mother, and you understand, boy, there's a lot more larger issues here. You realize that you may actually be her last line of defense. Yes, there are always larger issues. It always costs to field a band, and the price is so much more expensive than the dollar amount and can only be paid in time. It can only be paid in interest. Time and courage to engage each and every situation with integrity and enthusiasm. That is the most important thing. They say of the sounds it takes the most courage to face: fire on the battlefield, the screaming of approaching sirens, the roar of a tiger in the wild, all these other things that were supposed to be cut out. The admonishments of an expressive spouse, an elementary school band in full flight, is the most formidable sound you could possibly face. But bands of all ages can test your will, from the adolescent awkwardness of a middle school band to the downright honorousness of a full high school ensemble. This is not a job for the faint of heart. You tell me what teacher of any other class or elective would possibly be asked to abandon educational objectives to do what the kids want to do. It's unheard of in math or history, and it's even unthinkable in football. It's commonplace in band. A band director has the most complex job in the educational ecosystem. In order to have a successful band, she has to negotiate the roles of leader, teacher, performer, parent, luthier, cheerleader, referee, counselor, and politician, by cajoling, convincing, coercing, compromising, encouraging, and ultimately creating a community in the service of music. But almost all of us who are directors here have been musicians and intimately involved with music for most of our lives. We often remember our directors and our private teachers, while the mere mentioning of a name can channel the intensity of our first love of music, or perhaps cause us to recall that slow progression from lukewarm participant to enthusiastic band member to eventually enlightened purveyor of the values we all share through music. Here's just the name, music. It bespeaks spirituality, sophistication, and solemnity in silly songs. Sensuousness in skipping, and squeaking and squawking sounds in special sonatas and symphonies, and so much swaying and swooping and special sauce that we call soul. It bespeaks the blues and saying what you have to say. In it is everything from the movements of the heavens to the chirping of crickets, the ringing of church bells and the ringing of a cell phone alarm, the splashing of water and the howling of the moon, the whispers of new lovers, the cacophonous cadence of embattled couples, and the lonely cry of the brokenhearted. Music is the exhortations of a country preacher and the sound of the midnight moon. It's the super trite jingle of a TV commercial and the ditty that identifies a video game. The identifying theme of a movie and the sound of an entire ethnic group. It can also be the travail of Southern slaves collected in song. The voice of morning prayer that stops cities and the anthem that calls a nation to attention. In music, there's the recorded history and memory of a people brought to life. At every performance, the tying together of generations, an expression of pride and ultimately love, and also a sense of belonging. This music is something. It can reorder emotions, can awaken thoughts, can raise morale, and open the mind's eye with a single golden note. Music is consciousness made physical through the razor's edge of performance. It's consciousness forced into truthfulness through the pressures of time. And you don't have the time to lie. Music is always now. That's why the art of band directing is so serious. You are the custodians of your own legacy and of ours. You bring students into a knowledge of themselves and their capabilities through their relationship to each other and to music. And that's why, regardless of circumstance, you must also be teacher and counselor and friend and parent and social worker and fundraiser and cheerleader, referee, and politician. That's why you must be a community dreamer, builder, and activator. Music demands that level of sacrifice. It can take us soaring into the heavens, and it can lay us down in the grave or woe. And the relationship between band director and student can be as complex and simple as the relationship between brass and woodwinds, between the trumpets and the jealous trombones, and between everyone and percussionists. I always love the fact that instruments are grouped in families, and that the entire band becomes a single family with all the joys and dysfunctions appertaining thereunto. I love the fact that sections will compete, and it's healthy, but it's the director's job to bring everyone together, because that's the ultimate point and the teaching tool of music. Be together and stay together. You better do it at least for the duration of this piece. The desire to sound good forces us to play together in time and in balance. We have to do this to sound good. And we hope to play something worth fighting and working together for. In music, we can't go to sleep on an argument. The performance is the final word. And hopefully, all of this working and pulling together is done in the service of a quality of music worthy of your supreme effort. Substantive music justifies our sacrifice. A lifetime involvement with the profound and immediate truth of music shapes who we are, and it compels us to share the best of what we have and what we have learned with our students. And who amongst us, of the directors, cannot remember in an instant, for better or for worse, our high school choir, band, or orchestra director? Who cannot remember the procession of teachers, private and otherwise, our section mates, and our most important musical triumphs and failures? Many of us here tonight, we have teachers who have passed away. But even now, in this public moment, we can reflect with an uncommon suddenness of emotion on how much that teacher gave of themselves to make us better musicians, students, to make us better people. Though thoroughly economically unrewarding, music teaching is a sacred profession. It's as sacred as it gets. And just as you never forget your band director, you are now an important guidepost on the landscape of your students' lives forever. And what are we to make of this position and power? What are our responsibilities to our students and to our blood families who sacrifice so much of their time to this extended family of families? We owe this sacrifice an investment in substance, the pursuit of quality, and an undying enthusiasm for improvement. I think an important answer is to be found in surveying our former students. How they participate at home and in the life of their community is a testament to the quality of our teaching. As adults, does it really matter that the bands they were in made ones or twos, or God forbid, threes in competitions? What's the most memorable part of their band experience? I often wonder, is what you impart more important than even how good your band sounds or competes? Yes, we teach because we were taught. But what is the greater meaning of our personal involvement in this profession and endeavor? What can we add to the teaching that has gone before to claim our space on the timeline, to participate in the continuum of our way of life? What is it that we want to fix? Because what we want to fix is what fires us to improve and change. It's what inspires us to act. For a director, selecting music to play is the first and most crucial action. The identity of our band is shaped more by what we play than how well we play. Choose wisely. Because only through quality music making and through quality music making practices and substantive literature will our students be challenged to go deeper inside themselves.